guys, where are you from?
New Jersey, central New Jersey. Trump supporters from day one. Trump towers, every rally that we can go to, we go. Make sure you go out and vote.
Doing great. Great enthusiasm here in the center of Luzerne County. We got America's Mayor Rudy Giuliani on his way in.
There you go.
Huge Trump supporter, as we all are.
There you go. Luzerne County, 2016.
Made the difference.
Made the difference, right? We're
Sure.
gonna do it again?
Oh yeah. I don't think there's any question. Look at this. We heard about this just last night or a few hours ago.
Last night.
And we got hundreds of people showing up, and there'll probably be 1,000 people here soon. How great is this? We got Rudy in the house! Rudy! So, President has kept his promises. In Pennsylvania, we have the best economy, Mr. Mayor, that we've had in 100 years. We had, before the COVID, of course, we had manufacturing back, we had fair trade, we have a stronger military. The list goes on. He preserved our Second Amendment rights to bear arms. President Trump backs the blue. We all back the blue, and we thank them all for their service. We always will. The president promised constitutional judges. He put 2 in, and we got 1 more on the way. Amy, we're going to take care of it. Now, let's talk about Joe Biden for a moment. Now, Joe Biden is very much like an onion. The more you peel him back, the more you want to cry. Or should we call it the Harris-Biden ticket? That's a lot more appropriate, correct? So they've adopted every crazy Bernie policy that could exist, right? Green New Deal, open borders, nationalizing elections, stacking the courts. Do we even need to talk about much else when they're planning to stack the Supreme Courts and remove the constitutional checks and balances that have built this great nation of ours? That in itself, folks, all right? And their silence on the lawlessness is absolutely unacceptable and is the worst form of leadership you could imagine. So,
And what about Hunter?
where's Hunter? Folks, we are about recovery. We're about recovery. We're about law and order, and we're about defeating the China virus.
Support the police, and they support us. Let's have a round of applause for our incredible policemen. Back the blue! Back the blue! Back the blue! Back the blue! I've been endorsed by the Pennsylvania State Troopers Association, by Lodge 46 and Lodge 36, and I promise you in Congress, I will always back the blue. Let's talk about 1 or 2 other issues. My opponent supported $1,200 checks for illegal immigrants. Who here thinks we should build the wall? President Trump has been a warrior against illegal immigration. I will be a warrior against illegal immigration. It ruins our cities. It brings drugs to our cities. We have to stand behind President Trump.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Last but not least, let me just tell you the stakes in this election. If we elect another Democratic Congress, they will come back and try to impeach President Trump again. Do we want that? No! We must get rid of Nancy Pelosi once and for all. One more promise. I will fight to end the rain tax. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the reason we're all here, I'm about to introduce a man to you that in the 1980s put away criminals that stole our money on Wall Street. Yeah. That after 2001 stood with us, stood with law enforcement, made us proud to be an American again. Yeah. And most importantly, I want to take you back to October of 2016. Many people abandoned our president. There was one man who stepped forward and had our president's back. He went on every TV show. He defended the president. He's been the president's #1 supporter. He's America's mayor, Rudy Giuliani.
Thank you very much, Jim. Thank you. Thank you. You're absolutely right. You have to re-elect. Well, elect one and re-elect the other. You got to vote for them, and because the president needs that kind of support in Congress, we need a Republican Congress to get done all of what the president wants to get done. It's a miracle he's been able to accomplish what he's accomplished. He brought us the best economy in our history, right? Highest wages, lowest unemployment, for the poorest of people, the lowest unemployment. The best gains for poor people ever, records. He's a master on dealing with the economy. There's no possibility that anyone else can deal with it as well. I mean, Joe Biden doesn't remember numbers anymore. So how is he going to deal with the economy? He's going to raise taxes by $4 trillion.
No way! Are you serious?
That is exactly the wrong thing to do. One of his cabinet members in the Obama administration, Secretary Gates, in his book, said, Joe Biden has been wrong about every foreign policy issue in the last 40 years. He understated it. He's been wrong about everything in the last 40 years because before he was senile, he was dumb. Go check the dumbest guy in his class, the dumbest guy in his law school class.
Tell him, Rudy.
He had to cheat to get through law school. He plagiarized to get through law school. Well, very well known, he had to drop out of the presidency in 1988 for that reason. He plagiarized then when he was in the Senate.
Yes.
He lies constantly. Now he lies because he can't remember. He used to lie on purpose before. This guy is unfit to be president. He'd be a disgrace in the presidency. It'd be an embarrassment.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we've got a president that's strong as an ox. Mentally, he's sharper than all of them combined. He's proven to us that he can create jobs. We get hit with this pandemic that nobody expected. He gets us up and running. We are now the leading country in dealing with this. We have the most medicines. We have the most equipment. When he got hit with it, we had no masks. We had no ventilators. We didn't have enough hospital beds. And we had no medicines and no vaccines. In 3 months, we have more masks than we need. We have more ventilators than we need. We have got more PPE than we need. And we have medicines that can cure the disease now. And there's a vaccine on the way. There's nobody I know in politics, and most certainly not Sleepy Joe, who has accomplished nothing in 47 years. There's nobody else could do that. Not even our great Republican presidents could do that. They all had to submit a little bit to government time. He makes the government run on Trump time. You know why? Because he loves you. He loves you. He wants to prove to you. He wants to prove to you that we're the greatest people on earth. When he was talking the other day about the extraordinary accomplishment of all that he's been able to bring in 3 months, all the new medicines, all the new equipment, he said it wasn't me, it was the American people. All I had to do is motivate them. Don't do the, you gotta close down. Sleepy Joe wears a mask like this.
Blinded to everything.
And the closest person is across the street. Okay, so tell me, who is he going to infect? The teleprompter's in front of him. That's a show. It's not science. It's political bullshit. But it's worse than that. It's intended to scare people. It's intended to scare people. It's intended to keep them
Through press.
Do you think our schools have to be closed where they're closed?
No.
Do you know the teachers union says they'll open up on November 7th?
Yeah, that's correct. After the election. November 4th.
Do you think that the Democrat governors in a lot of these states are holding the economy down on purpose? They don't give a damn if they're hurting people. In my state, they don't care how many people go bankrupt. People are starving, and they don't give a damn. Beat Trump. We'll starve people. We'll hold back medicines from them. Who the hell knows what they'll do? And I'm going to tell you why. They let something happen to them. It isn't the Democrat Party that existed before. The Democrat Party were decent people. We may have had a different way of looking at things, but they had the same love for our country that we have. They had a different solution. I work with Democrats as mayor of New York constantly. And we could work out solutions. But something happened to them, before Trump actually, goes back to Bush, got worse. I mean, Trump was a racist, right? Bush was a racist? No. Romney was a racist? McCain was a racist? But then when Trump came along, those three kind of gave in to them a little. They'd get a little embarrassed, they'd get a little, they don't know Donald Trump. If he's right, he's not going to take any shit. He's going to stand up. That's what a leader does. That's what a leader does. A leader goes out in front of the army and leads them into battle. Leaders don't stay in basements. And right now we need a leader. We need somebody who can take a risk. Somebody who's going to make sure this country keeps growing. This would be the worst time to make a change, with our economy coming back faster than anyone expected. We're way ahead on jobs. Well, the stock market is way ahead, which means everybody's 401k is back to where it was and a little bigger. Businesses are coming back, and the only thing holding us back are the Democratic states that won't open up.
Correct. Pennsylvania.
They're the remaining jobs that we need. Like here. At New York. These governors and mayors in these Democrat states have to be thrown out. Every one of the riots, all the increasing crime is happening where you have Democrat mayors. New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Baltimore, District of Columbia, St. Louis. Los Angeles doesn't even belong to America anymore. Oh my God. In Chicago, it's like a regular weekend if 30 people get killed. That's a regular, and it's been that way for 30 years under a bunch of crooked Democrat mayors. What's wrong with them? Throw them out. And now the National Party has become just like them. Joe Biden has divorced himself from Pennsylvania and the values of Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, people of Pennsylvania don't believe that guns should be seized from everyone and that we should get rid of the Second Amendment, do they? No! People of Pennsylvania do not believe that you should be able to abort a child the minute before they're born. What is that? That's murder. Well, Joe Biden sold his soul.
That's right.
Because for 47 years he didn't believe that. For 47 years he wouldn't have public funding of abortion.
Terrible.
And he's a Catholic. And he sold out 4 months ago. After 47 years, he is now for abortion on demand and public funding of abortion.
Priests refused to serve the community because of it.
He was dead set against fracking. Fracking is terrible, fracking is awful, fracking is, I'm in favor of fracking. He's against any exploitation of any of the energy we have in our ground. What's wrong with him? We're going to stop coal, and China is going to put 50 times more coal into our atmosphere than we ever will. What good does that do? And why does he say that China is not a threat to the United States? Because they own him. Wake up! We're not stupid. China didn't give $30 million to his drug addict son. And I'm not saying that loosely.
No, you're not. It's true.
He's been a drug addict right up to this moment.
Thanks for investigating on that.
And in the next week or so, I think we're going to prove it. Because if the son of the vice president was a drug addict dealing with all these foreign crooks, that affects our national security, damn it. And what did Brennan do about it? Did they care that this guy was a drug addict? Did they care that this guy was getting money from crooks? No. Did they care that Russia and China were building up dossiers on him so they could squeeze us? No. They cared about a phony Russian collusion plot made up by Hillary Clinton. We got to get rid of them.
Amen.
The best thing we can do for our republic is to have an overwhelming defeat of the Democrat Party right now. I'll tell you what. They will then go back and they'll reform their party. They'll get rid of the bums. They'll get rid of the crooks. And they'll go back to a solid American agenda, maybe more liberal than ours, maybe a little more left than ours, but not a socialist agenda, not a foreign agenda, not one that allows you to burn the flag, not one that allows you to kneel down when the national anthem is being played, not one that dishonors America. They used to be blame America. Now they hate America.
That's right.
I mean, Columbus Day is 2 days from now. We're not celebrating it in New York.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
We're not celebrating it in New York. Don't you know what they're doing to us? According to them, the Democrats and their agenda for education, the person who founded this country was evil. Our first president was evil. The author of our liberty, Thomas Jefferson, and liberty all over the world was evil. Even Lincoln was evil.
These people are evil.
Grant, who won the Civil War and emancipated the slaves along with Lincoln, was evil because his wife was a slave owner or a family. Not him. He was against slavery. He put his life at risk to end slavery. Abraham Lincoln lost his life over slavery.
That's correct.
And meanwhile, they want to do reparations. You know who's going to have to pay reparations? I don't know. I have no slave owning in my family. Kamala Harris. Her grandfather was a slave owner. She's going to have to pay herself reparations. Why is there someone on the Democrat ticket who has a grandfather who's a slave owner? If we're taking down statues of Grant because his family, his wife's family, was slave owners. What a bunch of phonies. It's all to hate America. Make us hate our country. Make our children hate our country.
Terrible.
It's a terrible thing they've done to education.
Absolutely.
This is the election we get to change it.
Amen.
And if we don't change it, I pray to God that we survive as a country.
That's correct.
Let's pray to God. It's that important.
God is our foundation.
So make sure you keep knocking on those doors. Get them out. Help them to the polls. Remember, they're going to cheat. They're going to cheat like hell. So we got to do better. When I ran in my first election, I asked someone, how much do I have to win by to beat the Democrat cheating? He said 50,000 votes. And I lost. The second time, I won by 30,000. So we were able to reduce their cheating from 50 to 30,000.
You didn't give up.
But Democrats cheat. They cheat and they cheat and they cheat. They do it in Philadelphia. They're doing it all over the country. Hillary gave it away, that crook. Hillary gave it away when she said, don't concede under any circumstance. Suppose Trump is ahead by 20% in every state. Don't concede? What does that mean? It means she's got a plan ready to cheat.
It's like the last 4 years.
We're going to overvote. We're going to get more people out. There are more people who believe in this country than the haters that the Democrats are getting. There are plenty of people who see the good work that he's done. And that at a time like this, we need a functioning man or a functioning woman to run this country. Not somebody who needs to be helped to walk to the microphone. Right? And can't. I pledge allegiance
Yes.
to the United States, God, right. We the people of the United States. Oh, you know the thing.
You could be on SNL, Judy.
This is my sister. This is my sister. This is my. Where's my wife? Where's my wife? My sister. I don't know. It's one of those. It's one of those. I remember when Franklin Roosevelt was giving speeches on television and he was exciting the American people. There was no television. But that's a hallucination. He called that a hallucination.
Popcorn, remember?
Oh, what's that guy, Pop?
Popcorn.
Oh, he's a fearsome. Joe's a fearsome warrior. And at 75 pounds, he's really dangerous.
He's scary.
When he started the campaign, he was 85. He's now gone down to 75. I don't think there's a fighting class for 75. Well, this is a very serious election. We need you. Luzerne County did it for Trump last time. This time you're going to do it for Trump, for the Republican Party. Yeah. You're going to get rid of Nancy Pelosi. Yeah.
That's right.
I don't want to see her on television anymore. No. She can't move her lips.
Right.
You know why? She doesn't have an original body part. All different body parts. This one from here, this one from there, this one from there. I'm praying for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Please, Nancy, please. With the crook you have for a husband, please don't pray for us.
That's
I don't
right.
think God's going to listen to you, Nancy. I really don't think so. And I don't know. I just don't see you as the Virgin Mary. I'm starting. I'm praying for Donald Trump. She leaves out the last part. I'm praying for Donald Trump to get COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Stay sick. Could be. Well, thank you very much. I'm gonna talk to him tonight. I'm gonna tell him the enthusiasm in Pennsylvania is over the top. I assured him for 3 months in 16 he was going to win Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And everybody disagreed. And when he won, he really loves you.
You and me both.
And he's bringing manufacturing back. He's bringing jobs back.
Yeah.
The guy who did the most damage in the state in the last 47 years in the loss of coal, in the loss of steel, selling out. This is Joe Biden. Now tell him what you think of him. Vote for Donald